2 years on from America's dominant performance at Hazeltine, the lineups for the 2018 Ryder Cup are beginning to take shape. The 8 automatic qualifiers for the USA have been confirmed, and Jim Furyk has plenty of firepower to call on. We've canvassed opinion on both sides of the Atlantic on the current state of the teams.
Well, I think the US team's going to be very good, and the European team's going to be very good. It's nice to see different guys playing. There's some turnover, which is nice to have other people have the opportunity to experience the Ryder Cup as competitors. But I think it's going to be a great event. It's going to be close. I mean, I don't even know how you can pick a team.
Our team is young and kind of brash, unafraid, loves a challenge. But I think the US has a chance. I think they have enough chutzpah. They have enough young guys who really don't care where they're playing or who they're playing against, and the fact that they're on somebody else's soil, they really don't care. They'd love nothing more than to walk into Paris and then walk out keeping that trophy.
I have great admiration for a lot of the players of the past, so I have trouble saying that these two teams on paper are all-time great. I feel like you look at both sides, and the captains have a wealth of choices for their picks. And so, especially Captain Furyk, right now, I mean, if it were right now he had to make the picks like he used to have to make, he would have an impossible decision.
There are some reservations about the strength of the American team. Patrick Reed and Brooks Koepka have both shown they enjoy the unique demands of the Ryder Cup, but that's not necessarily true of players like Bubba Watson.
The U.S. is always going to have a strong team because right now this country is loaded with loads of really good players. It was shaping up, in my eyes, really nicely, or better, 2 months ago than it is now, because now you're starting to look at guys who just haven't, not quite on form, haven't done great things yet, and then you look past their kind of that 6-7 spot. There's not a lot of movement, and you're wondering if anyone's gonna pick it up.
Furyk still has 4 captains' picks to be announced in September, but most of the talk surrounds one man. Tiger hasn't played for America since Medina in 2012.
It's remarkable what he's achieved. I mean, given where he was physically, mentally, all the rest of it a few months ago, I mean, he's now in the top 50 in the world from nowhere. It'd be a hard thing for Jim Furyk not to pick Tiger. I mean, this is the greatest golfer who's ever lived. He's played the best golf that's ever been played. Hard thing to leave out.
I can't fathom any player that wants to face him when he's locked in, when he's playing the kind of golf he played at the Open. He's still got a little bit of gamesmanship in him. He's an old school guy that way. I don't want to face him if I'm another player. He's just different.
I think he's very, very good as a vice captain. I mean, he was a vice captain when he was on his couch recovering from back surgery. At the President's Cup in 15, he was texting and calling these guys every day. He gets into this stuff big time. The strategy, the pairings, the whole formula, the flow, everything. He loves this stuff. And he loves to compete as well. But, as Dustin Johnson said, what's his record in the Ryder Cup? It's not very good, is it? I think he'd be a better captain.
Players like Phil Mickelson, Bryson DeChambeau, Xander Schauffele and Matt Kuchar are all potential picks too.
I think he's going to lean hard on the 2 weeks after the PGA Championship and have the guys go out and earn it. The youth, Xander Schauffele, I think will get his attention after the year he had last year. I think the one he's really looking at is Tony Finau. Tony went to Paris with him for a little scouting trip right before the Open. Tony fits in beautifully. He's one of the most well-liked people, I think, in all of golf. He's one of those guys that actually looks taller than he is, the better that he plays. He could be an intimidating figure just by the sheer size of him.
He was very adamant that this golf course is going to be a second shot golf course, an approach shot golf course, and he's going to be looking at that player who is an outstanding iron player. If Kevin Kisner shows a little bit of form, he is somebody who has the match play pedigree now after playing so well in the President's Cup, and is somebody who fits that mold. But he's just one of 6 or 7 people who could be conceivably chosen, and I just don't remember us ever having that kind of depth before.
As for the home team, well, qualification still has several weeks to go. However, it looks like some big names with real Ryder Cup pedigree will need the nod from Thomas Bjorn.
I think he'd like somebody like Poulter to force his way in. He'll want Casey to stay in there. You know, he wants them to make his job a bit easier. You know, at the moment you're probably looking at Poulter being a pick, Stenson's not played great, and Sergio being a pick. And, you know, he probably wants a bit more leeway than that. No, but, you know, I think if you just put the names down on the list, it's a very impressive team.
Bjorn would love to see something from Sergio this week or in the next couple of weeks just to give him a bit of reassurance. I don't think he knows how good Sergio is, we all know. And funnily enough, probably one of his best results this season was on the Ryder Cup course in the French Open.
In match play putting, it comes down to putting, as we all know. So to pick somebody who's not great on the greens is a very, very dangerous thing to do. But then you look at Sergio, who's not the world's greatest putter, but he brings so much behind the scenes, I would think, in the team room, his enthusiasm, and he's great. He's got personality, you know, that gets people going. And I think in the Ryder Cup, that's probably a big thing.
With little more than a month left until the opening tee shots at Le Golf National, we'll be counting down to the event each week on Golfing World, with some of the great players of the past sharing their Ryder Cup memories.